something like that. All right, 4 teams making the college football playoff.
We're both going to say Georgia.
According to Brian Haydad.
Georgia is in.
Georgia's on mine as well.
I'll just go ahead and spoiler you that they're my national championship pick, and I went on the limb of Carson Beck being my Heisman Trophy winner. Freshman quarterback from Georgia. Why not? It's time for him to show off. Ohio State will get in. I think they will get in, but I also have Michigan getting in.
Wow.
I think it's going to be the same thing as last year.
Okay.
But I think this year Ohio State beats Michigan, but that's Michigan's only loss, and then they'll get in. So here's my situation in the SEC West. Here's the situation. Is I have LSU going 11-1 in the regular season and losing to Florida State and then winning out. I have Alabama going 11-1 in the regular season,
but
losing to LSU. But then I would have LSU lose to Georgia in the SEC championship game. 2-loss LSU doesn't get in. I don't know if 1-loss Alabama's getting in, not being the West champion. Although it would be really, really funny in this year where the SEC and the Big Ten have thumbed their noses at everybody and said it's us and the rest of y'all are kind of irrelevant, to have a 2 SEC, 2 Big Ten playoff. That would be really funny. But I will not go that route. I will say Alabama gets left out. And do I want to go with Texas?
People love this Texas team.
They're going to be good. Don't want to go with USC, but I just feel like defensively they're going to mess up at some point. They're going to have losses they shouldn't have. I will bite the bullet for my handsome young son Tyler Horka and say that the Texas Longhorns are my 4th team.
Ooh, yeah. You like the Longhorns? A lot of people.
I wouldn't go that far.
And
I don't say I like them.
I make the jokes. They have not won their conference since 2009. I say that a lot, like jokingly, but it's not a joke. It's true. They have not won their conference since 2009. This has been a perpetually underachieving Texas program. And how often have we heard, Tom Herman, he's got them rolling now. We had the "we're back" thing
rough.
after the Sugar Bowl. That ended up being, in hindsight, really rough. We've ever since 2009, we've just heard that Texas is back now for sure, and they're talented now for sure. And this team on paper should not lose a Big 12 game. They shouldn't on paper. They are truly, actually, really like championship level talented. Mm-hmm. I'm not including them, though. I'm a skeptic. I don't believe in Texas. I don't think they're going to get it done this year as well, but only really because of history. Because this team, this roster, should make the playoff.
That's one of the toughest things for anybody to do in college predictions, is to not look at the past. What happened last year literally has zero to do with what happens this year, right? Because if it did, Mississippi State would be a top 20 team. But nobody. Yeah. So people are able to make that disconnect. But there are a lot of people who are like that. They're just like, Texas always finds a way to mess it up, and that's true. But at the same time, it has statistically, mathematically, it has no bearing on what's going to happen this year. That's a tough, but it's tough. It's tough to get over what your eyes see. Your eyes see Texas screw up every single year. Your eyes see USC blow it every single year. Your eyes see Ohio State not being able to beat Michigan. You got to be able. It's tough to be able to say make those predictions.
Somebody says write it down. Haydad says Texas is back. Chase says I don't love Texas, but they'll be light years the most talented team in the Big 12, and
they should be.
Get Bama at the perfect time when they can outscore them. Somebody says
they can lose that game and still get to the playoffs.
They can.
So
I don't think they're losing that game, but that's more.
Yeah, a little early hot takery.
Somebody says, "Come on, hey dude, Texas, really? That's almost as bad as UCF."
It is not almost as bad as UCF. It's not. Texas is a top 10 team.
Robert says Georgia's playing a Division III schedule. If they don't get in the playoff, they should quit playing football. My 4 are Georgia, LSU, Ohio State, and Michigan. A SEC Big Ten challenge.
That would be so funny. It'd be really funny.
Yeah, Carson Beck, by the way, not a freshman.
What is he, sophomore?
I think this is year 4.
What? I thought he was like a redshirt freshman.
He's been around a little while.
I had no idea. Well, now I feel much better on my prediction.
Yeah. My 4. So Georgia as well. Obvious reasons. Schedule is a joke. Super talented. I like Ohio State out of the.
It's not their fault.
It's not their fault. It is not. They tried. They tried to schedule Oklahoma.
They had Oklahoma, and the conference told them to stop because they knew this was about to happen.
Yeah. I do like Ohio State out of the Big Ten. the roster and what they have returning, the wide receiver group is unbelievable. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to win the Heisman. That was my pick for Heisman Trophy. I like Kyle McCord's upside. We haven't seen him yet, but what is reported about him apparently is very strong. And Ryan Day's been good with quarterbacks. And I know what happened in the Michigan game. I know that happened. But I also can't ignore what they did, even though it was a loss, against Georgia. Yeah. They were down 3 offensive starters in that game and had a kick to beat Georgia. This is an Ohio State roster that's legit. I think they will go undefeated and run the table. Clemson is my third.
That's got to hurt.
I don't like it.
That's got to hurt you personally.
But it does because I can't stand those people. But anyway, here's why.
People?
They get Florida State and Notre Dame at home and North Carolina. So their 3 most difficult games are all at Death Valley. Yeah. And because of that, and Klubnik apparently is taking a step forward. Garrett Riley now the offensive coordinator there at Clemson. I've had the question of has Dabo lost his fastball? I think we're about to learn that he has not. And Clemson is going to go to the college football playoff. I've struggled mightily with who my 4th team is going to be, and I landed on Washington, but I don't love it. And not because I don't love Washington. I don't love the Pac-12 in that I think Washington, Oregon, Utah, and USC can all kind of beat each other, and I'm afraid of cannibalization. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if a one-loss Washington makes the college football playoff. They're experienced. They've got a veteran quarterback, really well coached. The offense is fun. A ton returning on that team. I like the way the schedule sets up, and I think the Pac-12 in its final year of existence is going to send somebody to the college football playoff to get beat up by the SEC again, but they're going to send somebody there. So those are my 4.